Okay, so the topic that I've been thinking of a lot lately is what would happen if you woke up from the Matrix. Now, I'm not talking about, this metaphysical, how do you know what's real? You know, could we be in the Matrix? I don't care about that. What I want to know is what would it do to you psychologically if you woke up from the Matrix? Because think about it. Okay, whenever Neo first wakes up, he's thrown into a situation that he has no idea what's going on. He truly, it's beyond his comprehension. I mean, think of the look on his face whenever he sat up and looked around at all the pods. Now, and later on, he was laying in his little bedroom on Morpheus' ship, sleeping all the time because of the psychological damage it did to you. But I have a feeling that a normal person, a real person, would not bounce back that quick. Think about trauma, okay? So, something like PTSD, it is our body's way of coping with trauma, which is sudden and usually negative, severe change. So basically your world just doesn't operate the way it used to anymore. Now, we don't do well with change. We get into our routine, and that's the way we like it. I mean, whether we like it or not, whether we like our jobs or not, we're comfortable with it because we are used to it. It's what we know. But say you get thrown into an entirely different world where you don't know the rules, you don't know what year it is, you don't know the environment, you don't know who's in charge, you don't know where you are. I imagine it's probably similar to like the trauma of kidnap victims and trafficking victims, things of that nature. So I imagine that would probably severely traumatize you. I mean, it's probably would be one of the most traumatic events or traumatic experiences that any human being could ever go through. And I think it might even be similar to the notion of time travel, particularly if you were able to travel in the future. Traveling back in the past, it would be weird, it would be a culture shock, but we know what happened in the past to some degree. So we pretty much knew what happened and everything like that. We would know how to act. Even if you've been through, elementary history class, you would at least know a little bit. But let's say you went into the future. Let's say, 100 years from now. Would things be more comfortable for us, like for Americans? Because we live a pretty comfortable life, most of us. Would it be more comfortable? Would technology make our lives even that much easier? Would it be an apocalyptic type scenario? We really have no way of knowing. We can guess all day long, but there's no way of knowing. So I imagine that would be a lot more traumatic than going back in the past. And getting taken out of the Matrix, out of this world that you've come to know and grown comfortable with, I imagine that it could leave you so psychologically scarred that you may just go into a freeze mode and not be able to function.